You know, water leaks inside your home can cost you a lot of money.
Air leaks are just as bad, but you may not even know you have them.
Today on PowerHouse, we're taking a deep breath inside your home.
We're going to roll up our sleeves and clean out some air ducts inside a house.
That's right, and we're going to show you how patching and fixing holes in your ductwork can save you money.
Then we'll show you how to protect your home against radon.
And we'll also show you how to switch out a ventilation fan when you don't have access to the attic.
That's next on PowerHouse. The air inside your home keeps you warm in the winter and cool in the summer. It's circulated through your heating and cooling system. Now the air is sucked into the system through an air return. Here it's either cooled or heated and then sent out to your registers to keep you comfortable. And your house is breathing. Now that air as it circulates can pick up dust and particles, and eventually the ductwork can get dirty. That's where Troy Zimmerman comes in. Troy is a home performance expert. He knows how houses work inside and out. Hi Troy, I know you're cleaning the ducts in this home. Tell us why someone should consider cleaning their ducts.
Well, we have a lot of reasons why somebody would go about having their air ducts cleaned. One of the primary reasons is health related, you know, if they have allergies or sensitivities to dust. Some people are just remodeling their homes and maybe just moving into a house. You may notice that there's some contaminants inside of the duct system.
Now we're down in the lower level here and talk to us a little bit about the process, because we're standing in front of a machine that really helps you do the job. Tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here.
Well, this is a commercial HEPA vac. It produces 4,200 CFM of vacuum. It has 3 layers of filtration inside of it, and most importantly is we don't want to recontaminate the air inside of the house, so this removes all contaminants down to 0.02 microns, leaving behind hospital quality air. What we do is we hook this up to the duct system. This tube would be connected here to the top of the vacuum. We have other equipment that can be used by different contractors where they have a truck mounted vacuum and they run a large tube such as this all the way inside of your home. During that process they really lose quite a bit of airflow due to the static pressure. So we like to take this machine apart, bring it into the basement, reassemble it, and connect it right here to the furnace.
Troy, I know a lot of the ducts are hidden in the walls, but you've got special equipment that can allow you to really get into those spots that you can't necessarily reach directly, right?
That's correct. You know, in combination with this vacuum, we use compressed air from truck-mounted equipment, and we have a power whip system that basically has a lot of fingers on the end of it. As we feed that down into the duct system, it knocks loose all that dust and contaminants, and we push that with aid of the vacuum back to the furnace and out of the duct system.
And I was looking in here, Troy, and you're getting some serious grunge created here, aren't you?
That's correct. Yeah, there's some pretty disgusting stuff in there, but you see, you know, dog hair and dust and debris. It's just kind of standard, you know, stuff that you will find inside of your duct system. This duct system had been cleaned before, approximately 5 years ago, so this is
wow.
what we've cleaned out of there just today.
So how often should someone have their ducts cleaned?
Generally every 3 to 5 years is what we'd recommend, but as people have, again, health-related issues with breathing or maybe asthma, we can even come in and clean those on a yearly basis.
Now you've got specialized tools like this, so is this something that we leave to the professionals, or could a homeowner try to do this on their own?
This is definitely something you're going to want to use specialized equipment for, and we are trained to be doing this process as well.
Let's talk a little bit. I imagine you've probably seen a lot of different things and found some different things, and tell us a little bit about some of maybe the surprises or the dirtiest jobs that you've had cleaning ducts.
Yes, we've really ran across some stuff. Unfortunately, we've even found dead critters and that sort of stuff inside of the duct system. But we've even had projects that are so dirty that we've had to stop the cleaning because the vacuum gets completely plugged up. We've had to empty it out several times in one particular project.
So how long does the process take? And I'm sure it depends in terms of the size of the home that you're working in, but can you give us a sense of a ballpark the time?
Generally 3 to 5 hours on most homes, but again, as you get into larger properties, it can definitely take longer.
Okay, and then how about also, we like to give our viewers a sense of cost for duct cleaning.
A standard ranch home will cost anywhere from $400 to $500, and then it goes up from there according to the size of the house and the amount of time it takes.
And again, you bring in specialized equipment, and I know you said, you're really looking and doing a whole house evaluation as you clean the ductworks here, right?
That's correct. As we go register to register and we start removing stuff and peeling back layers, so to say, we're looking for areas that we can help that homeowner improve on the quality of their air.
Well, Troy, thank you. You've shared some great information with you. I know Megan's going to come out and join you next, and you're going to do some sealing of the ducts. We'll look forward to that. If you'd like to learn more ways to keep your heating and cooling system in shape, visit our website at PowerHouseTV.com.
Did you know steam cleaning or other methods using moisture should never be used to clean inside ductwork? All right, Troy, so now this ductwork is all cleaned and the homeowners have requested that it be sealed. Why?
Well, we want to make sure that the air is going where it's designed to go. We want it staying inside of the ductwork instead of leaking into building cavities.
Do you always have to clean the ductwork prior to sealing it up?
Yes, that's best practice. We want to make sure as well that none of the contaminants inside of the ductwork is glued or left inside of there.
Okay. Well, explain your process.
Well, we start with a visual inspection on the ductwork. Although our equipment is set up to seal these common holes inside of the duct system, we want to make sure that we're keeping the glue inside of the duct system instead of allowing it to leak out. So we're going to go through and we'll tape up anything that we can see. And we want to be very careful with this because the edges are very sharp. It's UL rated. We want to apply it to where the corners of the duct system meet, and we want to softly roll it around the edges there.
Okay.
Once we have that applied and we have the air bubbles removed from there, we're going to use the mastic. And with this, we just apply it with a basic paintbrush. This process is very simple. We're just kind of painting it on there. We want to get all of the tape covered plus around the edges.
All right. Smells a little like caulk.
It sure does. This something you'd like to try?
Yeah. How thick do you have to put it on?
Just a smooth layer is plenty. Perfect.
How's that?
That looks great. And the benefit of the mastic on top of there is that the tape can break down over time due to heat and temperature changes inside of the ductwork. The mastic is a permanent solution to keep that ductwork sealed.
It probably protects the glue to some degree too and holds everything in place.
It does a fantastic job. That is the solution to making sure we don't have any further leaks in that area.
All right, what's next?
Next, we're going to go ahead and hook up the AeroSeal machine, and we're going to get started with the sealing process. We're going to hook up to the duct system at a location down below here. We will bag off the filter so we're not getting any glue into the heating and cooling equipment, and then from there we'll hook up our AeroSeal machine.
And explain AeroSeal and how that works.
Well, AeroSeal is a process of taking a glue and heating it up, atomizing it or turning it into a mist that we then inject inside of the duct system. From there it seeks out the leaks and seals them shut.
Does it fill the entire duct system with a sticky glue?
No, actually the glue is inside of there, but it's only going to come out where there are leaks.
Okay, and then how do you test that?
Well, we have a laptop, and what we do prior to starting the sealing of the ductwork is we test it to see how much leakage there is. We go through the sealing process, and then at the very end we test it again to see how much of a difference we've made.
So in general, what are the benefits of having your ductwork sealed?
Well, again, you're drastically increasing the efficiency of your duct system, which is very important. We're also making it healthier for you to be able to breathe. We don't want you having duct leaks that can also bring in contaminants into your air supply.
That's a great point. Is it uncommon to have holes like this within your duct system?
Oh, it's very, very common. This is just a standard construction practice.
So this adhesive that you're talking about, how long can homeowners expect that to last?
Well, it has a 10-year warranty on it, but in my experience, we have shown no signs that it's breaking down over time.
Okay. These holes are pretty small. What if you encounter a bigger one? Can the adhesive tackle that too?
Well, some holes are large enough that we may need to do some other repairs to your ductwork. It may include changing pieces of ductwork or applying patches.
Now, if people choose not to have their ducts sealed, what's the potential air that they could actually lose inside their home?
Oh, you can legitimately lose 20 to 35% of your air depending on how your home was constructed.
Wow, that's huge. This, like anything in your home, is an investment, right?
It sure is.
How much would that cost?
Anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 per home.
Okay, thanks. This is great information. For more energy and cost-saving tips, follow us on Facebook. Log in and like us.
Did you know leaky ductwork makes it more difficult to keep a house comfortable? Energy Star estimates about 20 to 30% of the air that moves through ducts is lost due to leaks and poor connections. Airtight homes keep conditioned air inside and unconditioned air outside. It keeps you comfortable in the winter and summer and keeps your energy bill low. But it also increases your risk of exposure to radon. Meet John Farlinger. John's an expert in radon mitigation and has been protecting homes from the dangerous gas for over 12 years. And he's installed nearly 4,000 systems in eastern Iowa. John, first things first, what is radon and why is it so dangerous?
So what radon is the breakdown of uranium over time, and that becomes radium, and then that becomes radon. So when the radon breaks down in the soft tissue in your lungs, it can cause lung cancer. So radon's been linked as the #1 cause of lung cancer among non-smokers and the #2 cause of lung cancer among smokers.
And radon's a serious issue here in the upper Midwest, right?
It is, right. So Iowa is the #1 state for average indoor levels, and Wisconsin is in zone 1, which is in the top percentage too.
Now, we're in a new home, but radon isn't limited to just a new home.
In Iowa, you've got a really good chance of having radon no matter what.
How do you know if your house has high levels of radon?
The only way to know is to have it tested, and you can do it one of two ways. You can have a home kit from your local hardware store, or you can get a professional to come out and test it. So a home kit, you have to do it yourself. You put it in the basement or your lowest level. It comes with instructions. You have to send it to another state to have it processed. Or with the professional testing equipment, they're going to have the test results for you within probably the next day.
Now, what level of radon requires mitigation?
The EPA has told us the action level is 4.0 picocuries per liter. And they say once we get it below that, that your risk for getting lung cancer reduces dramatically.
Okay, so we're in this new home, so you come in here, how do we mitigate then?
So being a new home, it already has the piping in place. We don't have to run a new pipe. We just have to put a fan up in the attic, and then we'll go down into the basement and put a U-tube manometer as well as some of our literature on there.
Okay, that's not the U-tube we all think about online.
No,
right?
no, it's so the U-tube manometer, that's just a U-shaped tube that has some liquid in it that tells us how much air we're moving underneath of the slab.
Should we take a look?
Yeah, let's do it.
John, we're in the lower level of this new home, and I know you're getting ready for the installation process. Let's talk us through that.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll put this U-tube manometer onto the pipe and then put some literature on there, and we'll be able to determine how much pressure we're moving underneath the slab.
Now, a mitigation system, there's a lot of different parts to us. Talk to a little bit about that.
We'll run the pipe from the basement up into the attic on some types of systems, and then we have to go in, cut the roof, and put a fan up there. We'll install an inline fan up in the attic that has some rubber couplers on both sides to help dampen the sound.
Okay. All right, and then the U-tube that you talked about, explain a little bit about that.
These two should always be offset. If it ever goes to zeros, that means that the system has quit functioning and that you need to call your certified mitigator to come out there and look at it to see what's going on with your system.
Okay, this is not the radon level.
Correct. It represents the amount of pressure that we're moving underneath of the slab. It just tells us how much air is moving. So if this is at 0, that doesn't mean that your levels are at 0. It means that you need to contact your certified mitigator.
And when you come out and do radon testing, that's a different test from this.
Yep, when the third-party tester comes out and tests it, that's absolutely a different test than that.
Let's talk a little bit about the whole process in terms of length to install a system.
The system like this is going to take a couple of hours to install, whereas in an existing home, it's probably going to take about a half a day. So most all of our systems, no matter what, will be installed in one day.
Okay. Can we have you go ahead and put that U-tube up?
Sure, let's get it set up. So the first thing that we'll do is we will attach the U-tube to our PVC. Then we use our drill and bit and put a hole in so that we can attach our U-tube to our PVC. Once we get that done, we will remove the packing pieces so that our levels will go back to 0. After we get done with that, then we will attach our literature.
And right now, both levels are at 0 because you don't have the fan system operating?
That's correct. As soon as the fan would start running, this tube will pull the blue liquid up, and you'll see that it is functioning.
And that's an indication the system's working as it should.
That's correct. If it ever does go to zeros, you've got your blue lines here to the side that are going to tell you to call a certified mitigator to have it serviced.
John, you have the YouTube installed. Let's now talk a little bit about the cost of installing the system.
Sure, so the cost on a system like this is going to be right around $600, and that's going to include all the post-testing and all the materials. In an older home, it's going to be just a little bit more, probably in the $1,000 to $1,500 range, just because it's a little bit more labor intensive running the pipe from either the basement to the outside of the home or from the basement into the attic of the home.
Does a mitigation system affect the value of a home?
If anything, you would think that it probably would increase it, just because you have to put on your seller's disclosure whether you've tested for radon or not. So if you have tested and you have a high level, most buyers are going to come in and ask that you fix it before they purchase that product.
And again, that's a requirement on that seller sheet, right?
Absolutely, yep.
Well, and also just peace of mind.
Yeah, it gives you benefit while you're living in the home.
You bet. John, a lot of great information. And if you'd like to learn more about radon and other dangerous gases such as carbon monoxide, visit our website at PowerHouseTV.com.
Did you know radon test results from a neighbor's home are not an accurate indication for your home? Differences in home construction could give your home different radon results from your neighbor and mean you might need to take action while your neighbor doesn't. Hey there, thanks for joining us. This is PowerHouse on the Street, Electric Vehicle Edition. This is Todd Lawson, and he just purchased one. And Todd, when did you purchase this car?
3 days ago.
Still getting used to it?
Still getting used to it, but I really like it. It's got lots of power and everything I've wanted.
Let's talk about range anxiety. It's a buzzword that's out there. People are afraid of it. What are your thoughts?
Definitely, I had the same experience. People are concerned about how far you can go on a charge, but I figured on average we're driving anywhere from 30 to 35 miles a day at most, and that plenty covers the range that we need for this vehicle. And basically that sort of alleviates those feelings.
All right, I want to ask you about charging. Were there any surprises to the charging process that you've discovered over the last couple of days?
No, we just had the new charger installed in our home, and I'm very excited about that. The car actually tells me how long it'll take me to charge at 110 or 220. It's only 4 hours with the new 220 app and about 12 to 14 hours on 110.
So Todd, what made you decide at this point in time to take the plunge and get an electric vehicle?
Well, we needed another vehicle, so I did a lot of research online to figure out what would be best if we need another, maybe a hybrid or just another vehicle in general. But I was basically getting to the point where I didn't want to do any more maintenance, oil changes, mechanical repairs. I do all that on my own anyway, and I just kind of wanted to move away from that, something a little simple and maintenance-free.
You got a used car. You opted for that.
When I looked at the pricing and so forth for used vehicles, this one was a fairly low mileage, had a good history as far as mechanical issues. I read about the reliability of the battery life on these cars, and I felt real confident. I went for it. So.
Great. Thanks for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.
Bathroom ventilation fans improve the air quality and also move moisture out of your home. So when they stop working, you need to get them fixed. The one here stopped working a couple of days ago, and I'm going to show you how to switch it out. Now, we don't have access to the attic, so we're kind of limited as to what we can do. And also, we're only going to be replacing the actual fan while keeping the original ductwork and vent cover. First things first, let's turn off the power to the fan by turning it off at the fuse box. Once the power is off, pull down on the vent cover. Most covers will have a wire fastener that keeps it in place. In this case, we just have to squeeze the wires on each side to release the cover. You'll see the motor attached to a metal plate. We're going to pull out the entire metal plate so we can switch out the fan, but first, unplug the fan from the outlet in the duct. Take a close look at where the metal plate holding the fan meets the exterior duct walls. There should be a small tab or two that let you unhook the plate. Once you have cleared the tab, you should be able to angle the plate and fan motor down while pulling the other metal tabs from the duct. Once you have removed the fan motor, blade, and metal plate from the ductwork, you can begin to remove the motor. You still have to loosen the fan blade from the motor shaft. To do this, just gently turn the blade while holding the shaft. You should be able to pull the blade off of the shaft while turning and applying pressure. There should be 2 bolts that fasten the motor to the metal plate. Loosen those bolts and remove the motor from the fan blade. Now you're ready to install the new fan motor. We purchased this universal fan motor for under $20. You can find different motors to suit your needs and even find some that might produce less noise than the previous motor. When replacing, always try to find a replacement that is ENERGY STAR certified so you can save the most energy. To install, just slip the new motor shaft through your duct plate as shown in your instructions. Then you simply attach the motor to the metal plate, making sure the screws are tight. Push the blade back onto the shaft, then reinstall back into the duct. Plug the fan back in and switch the power to the fan back on. There you have it. You've replaced your bathroom vent fan in just a few minutes.
Megan, I can breathe a little easier now that the ductwork is cleaned and sealed.
I know just what you mean, Pete. Sealing air leaks in your ductwork can help you save some money by not losing all that conditioned air.
Not to mention, clean ducts can help improve the air quality of your house. Just do your part and change your furnace filter regularly.
And radon is a dangerous gas that could be in any home. If you're concerned, get your house tested. And if you do have radon, it can be fixed easily.
And talk about easy, you changed out that vent fan that quick.
Well, thanks, Pete. Be sure to go to PowerHouseTV.com for more ideas and tips on how you can make your house a powerhouse.